What's up, guys? It's Daz here, but you don't really care, as we're right back to the beginning. We've just got our portal gun, but this bonus video is about Rattmann because, well, he's done a lot of foreshadowing in this game. So now that we have the knowledge of the finale and the whole game in general, let's look back at his first den. So starting off, we can see GLaDOS functional, or you know what I mean. She's functional in the time before Aperture went bad. You can see all the scientists there trying to look after her. In fact, she's even got the little cores that were on her in the final boss of Portal 1. Then, as we found out on Bring Your Daughter to Work Day, GLaDOS ended up killing the other scientists, and I'm not sure if that's a general scientist or if that's supposed to be Chell running around, but either way, death and destruction has come for us all. And then there's the companion cube, and what you can presume to be Rattmann himself, maybe? I don't know. He's got orange, which is what Chell wears. She wears orange jumpsuity stuff, but he is generally associated with a companion cube, so who knows? But then next, we see the storyline of Portal 1. GLaDOS comes, promises Chell in her orange jumpsuit some cake, which by the way is a lie, and Rattmann was there by the sides watching this whole thing happen. Then at the end of Portal 1, at least. No, wait a second, this is not the end of Portal 1. So that's Portal 1's story in general, but this is Portal 2, because this is the updated version of her. See, here it's more circular and there's no circles on her at this point, but here it's more sort of semicircular, and then you've got 4 cores for some reason, even though there was only 3, but that's the new Portal 2 GLaDOS. Either way, Rattmann gets a portal gun after this, huh? Okay. And then we see Chell, big picture we saw in the comic. But there's more to this picture, because apparently I wasn't looking enough. Chell rises up. This is the end of Portal 2. Even though GLaDOS is covered in cores, and that was more Wheatley's thing. But either way, GLaDOS, Portal 2 version. Chell goes flying up into the heavens or whatever, as we saw during the credits, and I guess afterwards Rattmann's alive and he's got the portal gun himself. So maybe Rattmann isn't dead, as it was depicted at the end of the comic. And then yeah, big Chell drawing. But furthermore, looking up, you can see a full moon cycle. And there's even a hole in the roof, similar to how... Hold on. That made a sound. Listen, when you don't hit something, it makes that sound. When you do, it makes that... Okay, that's a different sound to that. Oh well. Yeah, it foreshadows the ending where you actually shoot onto the moon in the finale. So, yeah. And, furthermore, because there's more stuff to this place... You can still hear Rattmann and his schizophrenic foreshadow, or his, schizophrenic rambling. So maybe he wasn't that close to us in that one den where you could hear him. But you can see he's not here because behind it there is nothing here. So yeah, Rattmann was here foreshadowing everything, and there's more to see. So now let's go forward to his next few dens and see what else we can find. So first of all, let's look at his little dens and what he's writing about. First of all, moons. He's been depicting this and foreshadowing it from the very beginning. For some reason he's got a cat jumping over the moon, but I don't really know that really. But yeah, this one's not very easy to work out because it looks like just a bunch of formulaic scribblings and maybe companion cubes and cats for some reason. But yeah, he foreshadows the moon in this one. Let's move on. Now this next one I don't feel is as significant, mainly because it seems to just be referencing this song, which is sort of symbolic, I guess, of how Rattmann and Chell feel, because, I mean, most of the scribblings are just the lyrics. I mean, Too Many Variables is different, but generally, I don't think there's much too significant to say here. Although Rattmann does seem to be a bit confused and taken over by all these folders, I guess. Yeah, okay. So, up on another Rattmann's den upstairs from one of the bridge. I am describing this very poorly, but you know what I'm talking about. Another one of his dens. You can see there is no magic, only lost physics. And then, who are you? Honestly, I don't really know what to add, because I mean, me doing the whole playing through the game, these still just look like random scribblings a lot of the time. I mean, I guess he's questioning GLaDOS in this case, and looks sort of similar to a cube to me, but I don't know. That's not even readable. But look, hey, more moons. There is, however, a den we'll be coming on to very soon that is very, very vital and important to looking at the whole story of the game. Whoops! Now this is one of Rattmann's dens that's very important. The one with the radio that goes in there. Because when it goes in there, it creates a very important frequency which actually depicts a certain image. Let's go hear it and see what it makes. So yes, even way back here, they were foreshadowing that you end up on the moon with Aperture Science. Now here's the Rattmann den I really wanted to talk about because it's easily my favorite, it's pretty important, and let's just listen to what he says and I'll try and break things down for you.
It's commerce too. It's words, it's started again. It's just a start and let you down now. It's on fuel and all these things. Where's the confidence of?
So this speech of his is actually repeating, but there are some key sentences you can pick out of this. First of all, you can hear, "The ship is stolen! The ship is stolen!" Which is, the ship is stolen, probably referring to the Borealis, which we saw down in the bowels of Aperture Science was mysteriously taken away. It's actually found in Half-Life, which is something to think about. But yeah, so maybe Doug Rattmann was somehow found out that the ship was stolen and he was worried about it. You know, that makes perfect sense, I guess. There's also things like, I think it's like, "Please forgive me, Mr. Johnson," and stuff like that, or like just being worried about Mr. Johnson being angry at him. And then there's also stuff like, "It's okay, little girl, it's okay, little girl," probably referring to Chell and how maybe Chell is the one that Doug brought back and made the main #1 test subject in the comic. And there's stuff like that, generally. I expect I'll go into it more detail when I actually get a transcript or a rough transcript of what's being said and I can analyze it later and put it into this video. But until then, yeah, that's about it. So, what do you think? It's been foreshadowed this entire time. Rattmann sure is a freaky one. Also, while I'm here, again, you've got GLaDOS. You've got Chell and the turrets and all that fun stuff and the moons. But also this tenacity. In the comic, we actually saw Chell's fire when it showed that her tenacity, which I've forgotten what the definition of is, like 99, like right up to the top here, which is potentially why Doug chose her. I don't know. But it's interesting. I really like how, like, just the lore of this game and the way it foreshadowed it this entire time and we were blind to it, sort of. Anyway, on that note, I'm gonna end it off here. So for now, my name's been Daz, you didn't really care, and I'll see you in a bit.